Do you freeze when you try to speak English?
That is the universal question, isn't it? Most people think they need perfect grammar to be confident.
Right. They think they need this.
Yeah,
Huge vocabulary.
exactly. Or, that their verb tenses have to be flawless before they can earn the right to speak strongly.
And that belief?
That belief is 100% wrong.
Absolutely. And this deep dive is all about unlearning that one idea completely. We're not focusing today on the mechanics of English. So we're not going to talk about vocabulary lists or the difference between the past simple and the present perfect.
No, that's a different deep dive for another day.
For sure. Today we're focusing on the psychology.
We're talking about the mental block, the sheer fear that stops your English from coming out.
That feeling, you know the one. You know the word, you can literally see it in your mind.
Your mouth just won't say it.
It refuses.
Yeah.
Or it comes out as this nervous whisper. You feel frozen.
Yes.
We're here to talk about how to melt that ice instantly.
Exactly. And here is the single crucial aha moment. If you take one thing away, let it be this.
Okay.
Confidence is not a feeling you wait for. It is a skill you practice. It is an action.
Okay, let's unpack this slowly because this is the fundamental shift, isn't it?
It is. It's everything.
You, listening right now, you're probably waiting for confidence to arrive, like a train.
Right.
You're thinking, when I have studied enough English, when I pass that test,
Then I will suddenly feel confident.
and then I'll speak loudly and clearly.
That assumption is the relationship reversal that holds every single learner back. It's the trap.
The trap. So you're saying you don't wait to feel confident to speak.
You don't. You must consciously speak. You have to take the physical action to create the feeling of confidence.
So we're flipping the script completely.
Completely.
You're not starting with knowledge. You're starting with attitude, with action.
The action of speaking, yes. Even speaking imperfectly. That's the practice. That's what builds the feeling.
It's a huge shift in how you approach learning a language. We're treating speaking not as a test of your knowledge,
No.
but as a performance, a practice of attitude.
And that means before we can adopt this new attitude, we have to clear out the mental clutter.
Okay.
We need to discard the old damaging ideas that you carry around in your mind about what fluency and confidence truly mean.
So let's start discarding.
Let's do it.
We begin with two simple physical actions that really reflect a deep mental problem. First, stop apologizing for your English. And second, please stop whispering.
Yes. These habits are physical symptoms. They're signs of this deep mental programming that we need to rewire.
So it's not just about being polite or quiet.
Not at all. Think of it this way. Confidence does not come from perfection. It comes from attitude.
Attitude is paramount.
It is. If your internal attitude is, I'm probably going to make a mistake, or I'm not sure if I should be speaking,
Then your voice will show it.
it will. Your actual spoken delivery will reflect that doubt. It will be quiet, hesitant.
But if you adopt an attitude that says, I have a message to deliver and this message is important,
Then your speaking will reflect that importance. It will be clear. It will be projected, intentional.
and that brings us to the first big myth that it paralyzes millions of learners.
All over the world. We call it the perfection trap.
Tell me, what does this trap look like in the learner's mind? What's the thought?
The thought process is really simple, and it's devastating. It's, I need perfect grammar, perfect pronunciation, and a perfect vocabulary to be confident and respected.
So you're waiting for a perfect score.
You are, before you even allow yourself to participate in the conversation.
And what is the immediate counter-argument to this very powerful myth?
The counter-argument is that this belief is, well, it's logically unsound. It's completely false.
How so?
Well, think about it. If confidence actually required perfection,
And nobody would be confident.
nobody, absolutely no one,
Right.
not even highly educated native English speakers.
And here's where it gets really interesting for you, the learner. Think about the way native speakers talk. In real life.
Not in a textbook.
No.
No.
When they talk quickly, or in casual settings, or even when they're giving a presentation.
They make mistakes every single day.
All the time.
They pause, they use filler words constantly, like,
Oh, constantly.
sometimes they start a sentence with one grammar structure
Yeah.
and then they change it halfway through. They realize they used the wrong verb or they switch a word.
I do it all the time. I'm a native speaker, and I'll say something like, I should have went to the store. I'll realize went is wrong.
Right.
And I might quickly say, I should have gone. Or maybe I just ignore it and keep moving. The point is, I don't stop the conversation.
No. They make these little grammar slips, especially in quick, casual speech.
Yeah.
But do they suddenly stop talking? Do they look distressed?
And say, oh, I'm so sorry, my grammar wasn't perfect.
Never. They just continue with 100% confidence because their primary goal is communication.
Not achieving a perfect score on a test.
Exactly. So when you focus only on your errors, when you are mentally listening to yourself with a big red pen,
Grading every word.
you're killing your own momentum. You are stopping the flow.
The communication just, it stops.
It stops precisely when you mentally flag every single mistake. You're forcing everyone, yourself included, to just halt the process, to focus on some minor thing.
But wait, if I stop myself and correct the mistake, isn't that good practice? One, I learn faster. That's what I was always taught in school.
Ah, the school approach. And it's necessary for writing, I'll grant you that.
Yeah.
But for speaking, it's disastrous.
Why?
Because you learn faster from doing more, not from analyzing perfectly. Imagine a basketball player.
Okay.
And this player is constantly stopping during the game to review slow-motion footage of a single clumsy step.
They'll never score.
They'll never win the game. They have to keep playing.
So confidence comes from realizing that an imperfect message delivered with strength and clarity
Is always, always more effective than a perfect, silent message that stays trapped inside your head.
because you're waiting for some kind of grammatical permission.
This is a huge realization. Your listener cares about your message. They don't care if you said goes instead of went, not really, as long as they understand you.
The listener is trying to understand you, not critique you.
Exactly. You have to focus on delivery and the message, not on accuracy.
We have to shift that focus from the form of the language to the function of the language.
Precisely. The function is to communicate. If they understood you, you succeeded. Period.
Okay, let's move on to the second Maber psychological obstacle. This one is really rooted in personal identity. We call it the shy person trap.
Oh, we hear this constantly. So many learners say, I'm just a shy person.
I'm quiet in my own language, so how can I possibly be loud and confident in English?
They feel like their personality is this fixed block, a wall they can't get over.
And this is where we need to introduce a new, very liberating concept.
What's so fascinating here is that this personality trait, being introverted or shy, is actually, well, it's irrelevant.
Irrelevant. How?
It's irrelevant when you step into the specific context of speaking English. You need to see language as a new context, a different room.
I love that idea. A new context. Give me an example.
Okay, think about the difference between your behavior at a job interview versus your behavior at a relaxed family BBQ.
Completely different.
You're the same person, right? But the social context dictates a completely different script, different posture, different volume.
Right. At the interview, you're formal, focused. At the BBQ, you're relaxed, joking around.
Exactly. Language is a new context.
Right.
So in your native language context, you might be the quiet, reserved one. That's fine.
But the moment the English conversation starts,
You have immediate built-in permission to adopt a completely different behavior, a different attitude, just for that conversation.
so you're allowed to be someone different, just like you're different at work than you are at a party.
We are not asking you to suddenly become an extrovert in all areas of your life, 204/7. That's impossible.
And not necessary.
Not at all. We are just asking you to recognize that when the English language starts, the rules change. You're entering a new psychological space.
So you can adopt an English-speaking personality.
Yes. And that personality can be automatically bolder, louder, and more relaxed about mistakes than your native language self.
That concept, giving yourself permission to change your behavior inside this new context, that is so powerful for overcoming shyness.
You don't have to carry your native language shyness into this new world.
You can leave that baggage at the door.
And that leads us directly to the solution. If we discard perfectionism and we discard the idea that our personality is a prison, what do we replace them with?
The replacement is simple, but it is profound. We call this the actor mindset,
This is where we stop treating English like a difficult academic subject
like a school test.
and start treating it like a performance art. Speaking English is essentially a performance.
So when you speak English, you are constantly stepping into a role. For the duration of that conversation, you are acting.
Think about the world's most successful performers, actors, musicians, public speakers. So many of them are incredibly shy, anxious people in real life.
Right, but the moment they step into character or onto the stage,
That fear is transformed. It becomes energy.
they are no longer their shy selves. They are the powerful character they are playing.
The difference between the person backstage and the person under the spotlight is enormous. We want you to create that same difference for yourself.
And there's a specific technique for this, isn't there?
Yes, a very powerful one. Did you know Beyoncé has an alter ego on stage?
Sasha Fierce.
Sasha Fierce, you need one too.
That's the perfect analogy. Tell us more.
When Beyoncé is just herself, she's known to be pretty reserved, private, even a little shy in interviews.
But on stage,
She transforms into Sasha Fierce. Powerful, demanding, invincible.
so why do performers need a persona like this? Why create an alter ego?
Because it's a shield. It creates this essential psychological separation. It separates the vulnerable personal self
The one who worries about critics or feels tired?
from the powerful professional self, the one who owns the stage and commands the audience.
And the application for the English learner here is, it's genuinely revolutionary.
It is. When you speak English, you have to make a choice, a deliberate choice.
Don't be yourself.
Exactly. Don't be the person who feels shy, who remembers that grammar mistake from last week, or who worries constantly about verb tenses.
Instead, you consciously choose to be your English persona.
You're an actor playing a character, and this character is confident, articulate, and most importantly, unconcerned with small mistakes.
So this requires a bit of pre-planning. You're sort of writing a script for your character.
You are. And you need to define this persona. This English alter ego needs a set of rules.
What kind of rules?
Simple ones. Maybe this persona doesn't worry about mistakes. This persona speaks slowly and clearly. This persona always takes control of the interaction.
So before I walk into a meeting or start a phone call, I should take a second and mentally put on the mask of this confident actor.
Yes. That mental preparation is the key. You are not waiting for confidence to just appear. You are choosing the confidence of your character.
Let's talk about the psychological distance this creates, because
Yeah.
this is why it works. This is why it reduces anxiety.
Okay. When you are speaking as yourself and you make a mistake, your brain sees it as a personal flaw, a failure.
You're protecting your identity, so you feel that shame. You freeze.
But if you are just acting, if you are wearing the mask of the English persona,
And when a mistake happens.
and mistakes will happen,
Right.
it's simply the actor who made a small slip. It's not you, the person, who failed.
So the mistake is just a minor script error. It's not a personal failure that defines my intelligence.
This psychological distancing is the ultimate anxiety reducer. The moment you step into that persona, you shed all that heavy baggage, the shyness, the fear of judgment. You separate your personal identity from your language performance.
It's not about being fake. It's about strategic mental protection.
A mental technique used by the world's best communicators and performers.
So ask yourself right now, if I were playing a confident English speaker, what are my rules?
Maybe your persona has a slightly lower voice. Maybe they always look people in the eye. Maybe they always start a sentence with a clear, slow word. Define these traits before you talk.
And when a difficult situation comes up, like someone asks a question you don't understand,
The English persona doesn't panic. The persona follows its rules.
and maybe the persona's rule is, if I don't understand, I will ask them to repeat it slowly, and I will do it loudly and clearly.
That is control. That is confidence. You're just executing the role, and the role is designed to handle those moments without freezing.
So we have the mindset, we have the persona. How do we give this persona some immediate physical tools to start using today?
We move from the psychological shift to the physical execution. The next 3 tips are immediate practical actions that force a psychological reaction.
Okay. Now that your English persona is ready to perform, we're going to give them their opening script.
These 3 tips are non-negotiable actions. You have to implement them in your very next conversation.
And we'll go through each one slowly and clearly so you, the A1 or A2 learner, can practice them right now. Tip 1, the volume hack. Speak louder.
This seems so simple. Almost silly, right? But its psychological impact is deeply profound. It's probably the fastest way to signal confidence to yourself.
So the rule here is speak 20% louder than you feel comfortable doing.
If you usually whisper, you must try to speak at a normal, clear volume. If you usually speak at a normal volume, try to speak just a little bit louder than you think is necessary.
Let's break down the psychology behind this. Why does this work?
Whispering or speaking too quietly is an immediate physical signal. It tells your brain and the listener two things.
Okay.
One, I'm unsure of what I'm about to say. Or two, I am afraid of being heard clearly.
So your body and your voice are basically screaming, please ignore me. My words are not important.
Exactly. And when your brain gets that signal of doubt, that whisper, it panics. It gets defensive. The words you need suddenly disappear.
But wait, I have to challenge this a little. In some cultures, speaking loudly can be seen as rude or aggressive.
That is a very important question,
Hmm.
and a fair one. We are not talking about shouting or yelling.
Okay.
We are talking about moving from a whisper of doubt to a projection of clarity.
Ah, clarity. That's the key.
Yes. When you speak quietly, the other person has to lean in. They have to strain to hear you. That makes them feel uncomfortable.
So speaking clearly, projecting your voice so they can hear you easily, that's a sign of respect.
It is. It signals, I respect you enough to make my words easy for you to hear.
So the volume hack is really a trick on your own brain.
It is the ultimate trick. Speaking loudly and clearly tricks your brain into thinking, I must be confident because I am broadcasting this. I want everyone to hear this important thing I'm about to say.
And the physical act of projecting your voice, it forces your posture to improve. You sit taller, you stand straighter.
And that signals confidence to yourself before you've even finished the sentence. The confidence starts in your throat and your chest.
Okay, let's practice this. Right now, wherever you're listening, say the word hello.
First, say it very quietly, like you're unsure if anyone should hear you. A little whisper.
Quietly, hesitantly. Hello?
Feel that.
I can feel the doubt, the uncertainty. The word feels small, powerless.
Now stop. Take a deep breath. Put on the mask of your English persona. Remember, the persona is clear and bold.
Right.
And now, say hello again, but 20% louder. Say it like you're absolutely certain you're happy to greet this person.
Clearly, with projection, hello.
You should feel a physical difference, a release of tension, a feeling of power that comes with that volume. Your brain registers certainty. Use this trick to launch every conversation. Start loud, finish loud.
The fundamental principle again. Whispering kills confidence. Volume creates confidence. Use your voice as a tool.
That was tip 1, forcing certainty through volume. Now for tip 2, slow down.
This is so critical, especially for learners who are running on high anxiety. They rush through sentences like they're trying to escape a fire.
And that's exactly what it is. It's a defense mechanism. Rushing is a clear physical sign of fear and nervousness.
You're trying to finish the painful interaction as quickly as possible.
You want to get the English out and just return to silence where you feel safe.
But the paradox is when you rush, you make more mistakes. Your brain doesn't have time to process.
You stutter, you panic, your communication gets worse. It just confirms your original fear. It's a vicious cycle.
So the non-negotiable principle here is take pauses, use silence, do not rush.
But I know the fear. If I slow down too much, won't I sound stupid? Like I can't speak quickly.
That's a great fear. But think about true power. The most confident people you know, a CEO in a meeting, a great teacher.
They don't rush their answers. They allow silence to happen. They use deliberate pauses. They wait until the precise word is ready, and then they deliver it.
They use pauses as punctuation, not as a sign of struggling.
Exactly. This controlled pace signals power over the conversation. You control the speed, not the listener. You are asserting control.
And it also signals power over the language itself.
It tells your brain, I have time, there is no emergency here. I can select the right words without panicking.
It reduces that mental scramble that leads to freezing up.
And the practical advantage is huge. Slowing down gives your brain that critical split second it needs to find the correct verb, or a better word.
So we should use those pauses to breathe, think, and choose. They're our allies.
Absolutely. The pause is your moment to regroup. When you feel panic rising, instead of rushing, take a deliberate, slow, deep breath, then start the next phrase.
Now, let's integrate a physical technique that reinforces this, eye contact.
This is essential for the confident English persona. When people are nervous, they look down, at the floor, at their feet. They're trying to physically disappear.
And that physical hiding just cancels out any attempt to be confident.
So, as a mandatory part of slowing down, make the physical shift. Look at the person you're talking to.
Even if it feels intense.
Even if it's just at their forehead or nose to start. But look up. It forces you to be present.
And it reinforces that power signal of slowing down.
It shows dominance over the conversation, not submission. You are delivering important information to them, not begging for understanding by looking away.
So the combination is potent. Your English persona speaks loudly and slowly while maintaining eye contact.
That combination, even with A1 grammar, already conveys 80% of confidence. It tells the world, I am here and I have something to say.
Okay, we have the volume, we have the pace. Now we need a solution for when the inevitable happens, when we make a mistake.
Which we will.
Now for the final tool in your English persona's arsenal, tip 3, the so what rule.
This is the rule that fully releases the burden of perfection we talked about. This is your insurance policy against anxiety.
The core rule is beautifully simple. It has to be followed strictly. If you make a mistake,
You use the wrong word, you mispronounce something.
do not stop and do not say sorry. Just keep talking.
The urge to apologize is huge. We're taught that mistakes are failures that need to be acknowledged.
But apologizing, it validates the mistake as a catastrophic failure. And worse, it breaks your momentum.
When you stop to apologize, you pull yourself out of your confident English persona and right back into your vulnerable, shy self. You interrupt the performance.
And you force the listener to stop focusing on your message and start focusing on your error.
You're drawing a big, flashing red circle around the mistake.
Okay, let's use a simple analogy for this. Imagine your conversation is a bicycle trip across town.
A mistake, say, using she go instead of she goes, is just a small puddle in the road.
Right.
You stop the bike, get off, apologize to the puddle, and spend 5 minutes drying your shoes.
No. You splash through it, maybe feel a little silly, but you immediately keep pedaling toward your destination.
So what? Attitude is exactly that. You recognize internally, okay, that was a little puddle, but you immediately override the urge to stop. You prioritize the destination.
Which is successful communication.
Right. The listener wants to know what time the train leaves. They don't need you to stop your flow to correct a small detail that they probably understood anyway.
So the goal is 99% communication, 1% correction later.
Exactly. Treat the mistake like a minor typo and just keep the flow of speech going. This requires real self-discipline.
The moment you feel that panic, the moment you feel the word sorry coming,
Just say the next word of your message instead. Push the conversation forward.
the psychological relief here is immense. You're telling your brain mistakes are going to happen, and they absolutely do not stop the show.
The actor does not stop the performance because they forgot one line. They smoothly transition and keep going.
Let's think about how these 3 tools work together.
There's a real synergy. If your English persona is speaking loudly, you're forcing certainty. If you're speaking slowly and using eye contact, you're giving your brain time.
And if you have the so what attitude, you are removing the fear of failure.
These 3 tools together create the powerful English persona. They build a foundation where your grammar eventually catches up to your confidence.
Instead of waiting forever for grammar to initiate confidence,
You are creating a positive feedback loop. You act confident, so you speak more. You communicate successfully, so you feel genuinely confident. You speak even more. The action generates the feeling.
and this is how you start winning the communication game.
This entire deep dive can be summarized in one powerful phrase used in performance arts all the time. Fake it until you make it.
Be an actor today.
So let's recap the most critical actions for you.
First, shed those old, paralyzing ideas. Perfectionism is a myth. Shyness is irrelevant in this new context.
Second, consciously step into your English persona, the actor. Separate the vulnerable self from the confident performer. Give this persona permission to be loud, clear, and bold.
Third, use the 3 physical power tips. Speak 20% louder than you're comfortable with to trick your brain into certainty.
Slow down your pace. Use deliberate pauses and eye contact to signal control. Let your brain breathe.
And finally, adopt the so what attitude. If you make a mistake, do not apologize. Keep the show moving forward.
We want to issue a very clear, final challenge to you, the listener.
In your very next English conversation, it could be with a teacher, a colleague, a waiter, or even just practicing out loud to yourself.
We want you to consciously put on the English persona before you open your mouth.
Take a breath. Adopt the posture of someone who is in control. And project your voice, just for the first 30 seconds.
And then measure the difference. Not in your grammar, not in your mistakes. Measure the feeling of power and control.
What stands out to you in that moment? Does the person listen more attentively?
Does your brain feel less panicked when you allow yourself to pause? Did the conversation feel less like a test and more like a performance?
Even if your grammar is still at an A1 level, if your attitude is 100% confident, you will communicate better. You will learn faster. And your anxiety will start to melt away.
We'll leave you with this provocative thought. The road to fluency is not paved with textbooks full of corrected exercises.
It is paved with small, boldy performances. The audience is waiting for your show. Go out there and start acting.